Daddykirbs.
Morning.
Saturday morning live show here. Blake Kirby, Daddykirbs, with my friend and moderator Kate, sitting over here on the computer to assist in moderating this show to help keep it family friendly. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We have a few things to discuss, and I'm excited to share with you some of the projects that have happened and some of the dreamy projects that will happen, hopefully. And this is the first week of the show done on the new camera, the new phone, which is a Samsung Note 8. So hopefully that provides a better experience, or at least as good as the Samsung S6 that this show has been produced on. The interesting thing for me is that the microphone and clip that holds it on the tripod all fit with the case on the phone, so I don't have to strip my phone every time I do the live show. So that's fun for me. That's exciting. And so let's get started. I have a few things that I want to talk about. First of all, I do want to mention something. I don't want to go into too much detail right now, but I do want to mention something. I have this printout that I spilled my coffee on this morning. But this is a printout of the YouTube statement saying that small channels under 1,000 subscribers with fewer than 4,000 watch hours in a 12-month period will lose all of their monetization tools, meaning they will not be able to collect any money at all from any of the videos that they make until they cross that point to they can join the YouTube partner program again after they reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a 12-month period. I don't understand all of everything that YouTube's doing, but according to this letter I got that I used to be able to read because it didn't have coffee on it, and the reason I got this is because I have a second channel. I have actually 4 channels. 3 of them I do almost nothing with. I need to do more on the Life with Luke channel. I wish that that one didn't sit so silent. But one of the channels is called Daddykirbs Farm Animals. And way back when I created that channel, my dream was that I was going to be posting a lot of just really fun animal videos, just cute stuff on the farm, you know, animals, daily routine, cute cats, chickens, whatever. Well, I never really got to doing that. The channel sat neglected. So I got a letter from YouTube saying that my Daddykirbs Farm Animals channel will lose monetization unless I can bring my subscribers up to 1,000 and my watch hours up to 4,000 in a 12-month period. I'm not too concerned about that on that channel. I don't have a lot of time to put into it, so I'm not too concerned. But there are other channels that you are familiar with. Possibly some of you sitting in the room right now are small homestead type channels that you got this letter as well. And after a while of creating videos and collecting a small check from YouTube, now you're going to lose that. So I have another video coming up real soon where I'm going to discuss that in more detail and share with you my thoughts on that and also how we as a community can help. So that's enough on that subject. Paul Otis, I saw your video where you mentioned that for your channel, and I know there's others on here that have a similar concern. So we're going to talk about other things for now, and then I'm going to get back to that subject in an edited video where I can put my thoughts together and not appear so crazy. Okay, so let me get my notes because a lot of times I just start rambling. I will say that you are watching the Daddykirbs Saturday morning live show. The purpose of this show is to interact with the community formed around the Daddykirbs content, and it really is all about community engagement and community growth. So if you're watching this in replay, this is going to be about an hour long, and it's a conversation. The chat that I can see and that Kate can see and that we're we're in the chat together. I don't do a lot of interaction with the chat because I'm trying to discuss, but if you're watching this in replay, you will not be able to see the chat that's happening now. But feel free to leave your comments below so that we can have a conversation again after this goes to replay. So I mentioned that this is on the Samsung Note 8, and I would be very excited to hear from you if you prefer the video quality and format over what was on the Samsung Galaxy S6, just because I'm a nerd like that and I'm curious what you think. The quality of my network did not get any better, and a lot of times that is what actually makes a difference, not so much the camera. So some of the quality issues that the network creates, they're not going to get any better, at least not right now. Ronald, I see you asking questions. We are going to discuss the solar project that is now on the horse barn, and also Luke. Luke is a few minutes away from getting his routine massage therapy. This is to help him in some of the tactile issues that he deals with. And so he is patiently and anxiously, can that be at the same time? Waiting for the therapist to show up. In a few minutes, you're going to hear a little ruckus in the background because the dogs are going to bark. And yeah, that's the therapist coming in, and they're going to sit over here and take care of business. But Luke has a lot of good moments and some bad moments. We still struggle, but overall, Luke is a real joy, and he's doing okay. I hope you have your coffee in your Daddykirbs tumbler. Actually, only 2 people have that right now. That would be Kate and I, because we're the only 2 people that have stickers on our tumblers. I do have a few people that sent me emails asking for stickers, and I just haven't got those out yet, but I haven't lost the emails. They are coming. All right. Wow, it looks like a good group coming in here. Let me say hello to a few people. Scroll through real fast. Let me go to the beginning. Wow, a lot of conversation already.
Pratt family is on. Pratt
Green Gables, Pratt family showed up. Wee Tree, Kate, and Ronald, and Øystein. I thought I saw him in here. All with their wrenches. Yes, he is right there. Thank you so much to my moderators for helping to keep this show family friendly. I cannot do it myself, so you guys are truly doing me a service. And Haffy showed up. Good morning. Let's see. Sasha, Druge, Paul Otis, Alan, The Music Well, Jesus Ramirez, Keiko Jung. Some of these names, I'm sorry, aren't familiar to me, so I probably will say them wrong. Wicked Westphalia, Monty showed up, Trish, Barbara, good morning, Jajit, Juan, good crowd. All right, let's see, I'm scrolling. Paul Otis, by the way, Paul does have a beekeeping channel. You can go check out some of his stuff. And Food Forest Permaculture, good morning. I believe last week was your first weekend. Thanks for coming back. Helena, Pratt Family Homestead. Wow. Okay, I'm going to miss somebody. I'm sorry because I'm trying to go fast. Sherry Sows, John Jacob. John Jacob Jingle. That's funny. It's funny because I have kids and we actually used to sing that song. John Jacob Jingleheimer Smits. Yes. Okay. Ronald, starting the morning with the first super chat. I will say that any of the creators that you watch, if you want to support them, this is one way to support them. There's a lot of ways to support your creators, but here's one. If they do a live show, the super chats is a pretty good way to support them. YouTube does take their cut, so you're supporting YouTube as well. I think it's 30/70. I'm not sure, but the super chats are really helpful to the channel, because for me, and I imagine, I know it's the case for several other creators, because we talk in different Facebook groups and whatever, but overall, the YouTube ad revenue for a creator is going down. Even though my channel is growing, the amount that it gets from the ads is going down. I don't really mind, because I have other ways to share and other ways to monetize that, like for example through Steemit, but the super chats really are helpful. I'm going to adjust this camera so I can relax my shoulders a little bit. There we go. So thank you so much, Ronald, for being very consistent. I haven't got to that. Øystein apparently did as well. My voice is cracking like a little boy. All right, keeping up with Ronald. Øystein sharing in the super chats. Thank you very much. Trish says, I can't match today because I'm on my iPhone. Yes, it's silly. iPhone doesn't allow that feature, which is fine. Just enjoy the show. Join in the community. The super chats are nice, but I do not expect those. It is a nice gift, so thank you very much when it happens. But if you're here just sharing in the good times and the community, that is totally okay. All right. Okay. So the projects that that are going on here, let me tell you a little bit about how the dogs are getting ready to bark. Hold on. Cue the dogs. Oh, wow, they're being very calm right now.
She sneaked up on me.
She did sneak in. The dogs didn't bark. That's amazing.
That's true, Ronald. It is hard to keep up with you.
All right, so Luke has his therapist session starting right now, and the dogs didn't bark. I'm very excited. Lester, good morning. Good to see you. Lester helped me on the bees, for those of you who didn't see that video. So he actually came over and helped me take care of some of the projects. I do want to talk about the projects here on the farm right now. If you've noticed, you probably have, January 2018 has been a pretty quiet month on the Daddykirbs channel. I haven't produced a whole lot of videos, and there's a few reasons for that. One, the amount of energy that I've had has been really low, because I haven't been feeling super well, because allergies and just the cold, dry, or it's cold and wet some days, cold and dry other days, and it's been kind of getting to me. I've had very little ambition to make a video because it's not pretty outside, and I have the energy thing going on, but we are going to get over that.
Spring's on its way.
Spring is on its way. And during this time, what I'm doing, and I get to share with you in the live show, is I'm dreaming about projects. I'm trying to figure things out, listing things and drawing things and thinking about things. I just haven't been able to get out there with the camera and make videos about things actually happening. I do have a list of videos that I expect to be making real soon. I generally, in the past, have not liked telling you what videos I'm going to make, just in case I don't make them, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and share with you. The last video that you saw with Maggie and Teo was them kind of getting at each other because they were just introduced. So there needs to be a new video to share with you how well they're getting along right now. And that's something that we've shot a little bit of video, but I need to put it all together so you can see that. Also, I introduced to you, I think last week or the week before, that new tool, the rake. That's a vendor sent to me to try out to make a video, and so I'm going to make that rake video. I already shot the video once and I didn't like it. I didn't like my presentation, so I'm going to reshoot that, and I'm going to change this, put this out here. There we go. Kate's in the picture.
Gonna break your camera.
All right. So also, I do intend to make really soon the video about the YouTube demonetization of the smaller YouTube channels, and also I want to do a farm walk to share some of the things here, because I haven't done that for a while. over the years, I've taken my phone or my camera out, and I've just walked around the farm, sharing with you sort of the state of the farm, like what's going on right now. And that's something I want to do, because I think that's just kind of nice to help the community here to keep up with the projects and the animals and just how things are happening. So those are some videos that you can look forward to coming real soon, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, providing we get a few good days and a little energy here. The coffee's not always doing it, because the allergies can weigh you down. That cedar fever is pretty nasty.
Yes, it is.
All right, you may be able to hear it in my voice this morning. Okay, so let's talk about, there's a few things. I have some very rough drawings. One is I did some dimensions in a quick sketch. It's not much, but I'm going to be building gates for the horse stalls. I have 2 gates and a door to build on the horse stall, so those will be coming up. And then also, if you have been watching my Instagram, you know that yesterday we had solar panels installed on the horse barn. Now, this is all part of the original solar project. This is not a new project that cost us any more money right now. This is money that happened a year ago. In fact, it's been over a year. So we've been waiting to figure out the best way to install the rest of those panels. We thought about installing them on the main house, but we recognized that the roof on this house needs a lot of work, and we don't have the money to fix the roof and put the panels on. So the company suggested that we just put them on the horse barn, and that's what we did. So yesterday, this is my horse barn. Doesn't it look pretty? These are solar panels. This is a project that is going to, we have 2 meters, 2 poles on our property, and this is going to service the 2nd meter. So the horse barn, the pool, all the outbuildings, the chicken coops, the shed, everything's going to be on that 2nd bank of solar panels. So I'm really excited to get that going and start gaining. I keep adjusting. Did you see the horse? The horse in the window there? That's Maggie. Or maybe it's
too light. It's Teo.
Yeah, it's Teo, because it's a white horse. But there's another project that's going to go along. Okay, let's see if somebody can guess. Looking at this picture, there's another project. I'll give you an idea. It's on this side of the barn. There's another project coming up. What is it? I'll give you a few minutes to think about that, and then maybe we can have a little fun with guessing one of the new projects.
Jenny from Pratt Family loves the horses.
Oh, nice. Wholesome Roots made it in. Good morning. Drill a well. That's one of the guesses. That's a good guess. So there's a project going on over here. While you're talking about that new project, I will share with you, over here, this is a native persimmon tree, Texas native persimmon tree. There are 4 or 5 of these large, beautiful, they're not big trees, but for a native persimmon, they're pretty large. And these red marks indicate horse bites. Yeah, one of the horses is chewing on trees. And I'm researching right now, trying to figure out why that's happening and what we can do to stop that, because I don't want those trees to die. My research so far shows that most likely I'm going to have to put some sort of a fence or a wire around those trees, because the horses, once they start chewing on trees or wood, it becomes a habit, and especially on bark, because a lot of horses actually like eating tree bark. So once they discover that that's available, it becomes a habit. They just like it, do it, and they keep doing it. And they will kill the trees. So that's something else. If you looked at my Instagram this morning, the picture, the up-close picture of the bite marks on the persimmon tree was posted about an hour before this live show. So you can go check out my Instagram, Daddykirbs, if you didn't know, that's my Instagram. Yeah, so Wheat Tree says chicken wire on the trees. Another person, Drake White, posted on my Facebook this morning that was, no wait, was it Drake? Oh, I'm sorry, Shoney posted, I get confused, posted that chicken wire wrapped around the trees, so that might be a solution. I think Drake mentioned actually putting a whole fence around the tree. That's another solution. I was hoping there was something a little less structural that I could do, like maybe spray something on there that makes it bitter or not good, because I know you can do that for dogs and cats as a bitter apple type stuff. But chances are if it's bitter apple, the horses will like it. I am not from Dallas, Texas, Carol. This is, we are near San Antonio. Not in San Antonio, but near San Antonio. But we are in Texas. Just further south than Dallas.
Someone in there said that they're chewing on the trees because they lack certain minerals, and you should supplement them with kitchen scraps of fruits and veggies.
Oh, wow.
Chicken.
Okay. I did read that horses can be lacking vitamins and minerals, and that's why they might be chewing. So that is one reason why they might be doing it. And I read that some people will actually throw out, tree trimmings that has fresh bark and leaves in the pen so that they can chew on that. I'd never heard of the kitchen scraps, but that's an option, I guess. And then providing the mineral blocks, which we have. Maggie does not like the mineral block. Teo loves it. So far, I haven't seen Teo chew on a tree, but Maggie is the culprit right now. Interestingly, I never saw her chew on a tree before we got Teo. So I don't know if that's nervousness or marking or just somehow a development of a bad habit. I'm not sure. Wholesome Roots says mineral blocks are not as good as loose minerals. We use loose minerals for the goats, so maybe we can look into that for the horses as well. All right, so what are the guesses? What are the guesses on the project over here? I saw workshop, hay storage, drilling a well.
Water catchment.
Water catchment. Who said water catchment?
Several people, but...
Well, those of you who guessed water catchment, a greenhouse, that would be a nice idea. It is going to be rain catchment. I'm going to take advantage of that slope coming off the solar panels and roof. I'm going to put a gutter and a series of, I'm not sure if I'm going to do large actual rain catchment type containers or if I'm going to go with the IBCs, which are the totes, water totes. Usually they're 275 gallons, or there is also a 330 gallon version of those. And those are usually fairly inexpensive. If you find them local, they're just second-hand containers that used to carry, for example, maybe soda syrup or something like that. You can also find the ones cheaper that carried soap or other detergents. I don't want those. I want to get the ones that had some sort of a food grade. I'm going to move this in. And Food Forest is signing out. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of projects. The solar project on the barn yesterday, those guys worked really hard. They had to dig from the barn all the way to the pole to bury that electrical line. That was also sort of a mystery post on my Instagram where you could see the guys digging a trench. There were people on Instagram guessing that it was that I was running water to the barn, and maybe someday that'll happen. Actually, it probably won't happen because what I hope is that I'll have enough water catchment that I'll be able to fill up a trough for the horses that is rainwater year round. Hopefully that happens. Otherwise, we'll just have to keep running the hose over there like we do right now. And Wee Tree Bonsai is posting the link to daddykirbs.com. You can go to the contact page and contact me through that about the hats. I don't have mine on, but you can see the Daddykirbs hat on Kate this morning. It is interesting on Steemit. There's a new member on Steemit, Sandy. She goes by Country Heart on Steemit, in her first post, she did her selfie on Steemit with my hat on, which is really cool. The hat looks better on Kate. Thank you very much. My hat probably looks better on a lot of people. All right. Mr. Rain says, you guys got a drought last year. We get a drought every year. Every summer in Texas, in this part of Texas, we go several months with extreme hot and very little rain, and it ends up a drought. Now, a couple of years ago, we had a drought that lasted 3, 4, 5 years, and with almost no, I mean, it was very, very minimal rain, and rivers dried up.
The longest one I've experienced, and I'm a native Texan, was 8 years.
8 years, that's a long time.
Yes.
And rivers go dry, and it ends up just miserable because the aquifer that we get our water from gets really low, and everybody has to be very careful about how much water they use. But says, are you planning storing your water underground? I, as of yet, am not planning that, and one of the reasons is that it's very expensive to dig those big holes. This soil is not easy to dig in, and to get the equipment in here that it takes to dig those big holes, to bury those big tanks, it's very expensive. So right now I'm probably, this is all sort of dreamy right now, I'm figuring this out. The IBCs, I forgot what they were called for a second, the IBCs that hold 275 or 330 gallons, you can line them up and connect them via, PVC, all connected together, and then have that expanded storage. So 330 gallons times however many tanks you can line up. And usually you can get those tanks for $100 to $150 a piece. And that's not too bad. I also have, sitting back here waiting to be used, a 600-gallon rain tank. It's one of those black poly tanks, and I purchased it from my son-in-law, who had it for another reason, didn't need it anymore, and I got it from him, and it's been sitting back there waiting to be used. So that's one part of the rain system. I'm sure I just need to put it all together. So I need a gutter, I need some pipes, I need some PVC, and we'll get that project done. And when I do, there will be a video. Wholesome Root says, how are you earning $500 a week on Steemit? That $500 was an accidental fib. It's not quite $500 a week. It's I don't even want to give another number, but it's a little less. It is still several $100s per week that I could be taking out of Steemit. But
you do it by posting so
yeah,
much.
that's right. You go on Steemit, you build community, you post, you share, and in time, those efforts are rewarded by the community in votes. And those votes, different people have a different weight on their votes, meaning that they can pay you more. A lot of the community has maybe a nickel, a dime's worth in a vote. A new person would have maybe a penny. But at any rate, the more votes, the more community you build, eventually those start adding up, and it turns into the Steem currency, which is Steem token and Steem-based dollar. I'm just going to give you a real quick how this happens, because I saw you ask it a couple times. Those assets can be sold on the market or traded through something like block trades to a wallet, online wallet like Coinbase, deposited in Coinbase as Bitcoin or some other, and then you can, from that platform, sell into US dollar. Now, I've been very fortunate over the last few months to be supported by several larger accounts that vote for me on a regular basis, and I'm very, very fortunate, and I know I cannot take that for granted, because at any moment they could choose not to vote for me and my post would not be worth as much. But right now I do have their attention and their favor, I guess. They like what I'm doing, and they're consistently voting for me, and that's a blessing, because it makes my post worth something. Right at this moment, I'm choosing to turn most of that into Steem Power, which is it's investing into the platform, the Steemit platform, so that I will then be able to build my ability, my voting strength to bless other people. My vote right now is worth about $1, and you only get 10 good votes a day because I don't want to go too much in detail, but anyway, your voting strength diminishes as you use it. So I've been trying to vote for people to encourage and support, but I can't do everyone. Just like those people who are voting for me, if they choose to vote for someone else, that's just, I would lose on those votes. I would lose their vote, and that's okay, because it's all about building the community, and it's very exciting actually to once you start building that steam power and your voting strength, you can bless other people, and that's my goal right now. So that's enough about Steemit right now, but if you're interested in Steemit, steemit.com/@Daddykirbs. I get nothing for you joining except for building the community, so we can build that together.
Happy says he still can't get on.
Happy, I am just perplexed by your inability. Now, are you certain, this is something that you have to be aware of, that sometimes the email that comes in saying you're in goes to junk or spam, so you might want to check that. If it hasn't shown up at all, man, that is just a bummer, and I'm really sorry to hear you're having that trouble. It took my daughter to get her account, I think, a week. I know you've been struggling a lot longer than that, and I'm sorry. I don't know how to help. I wish I had more influence there, but I don't. All right, so what else can we share? Let me read a little bit. I see some of you talking about crocheting. Pratt Family says, I keep wanting to get on Steemit, but I want to do more than videos. It's not just videos. It's really not. Steemit is anything. It really is anything. In fact, most of my Steemit posts are not videos. Now, when I make a YouTube video, I also share it on Steemit. But I don't hold back. I try to post every single day on Steemit. And sometimes one of the things that I've been doing lately, which you could do if you have YouTube videos at all, is to re-upload those videos to DTube, which is a Steemit blockchain-based video sharing service, and make a post of all your old videos. Like, for example, if you have 100 videos on your YouTube channel and you upload one per day to DTube, that can be 100 days worth of quality material, and you're building a reputation. If you go back to the beginning of your YouTube existence and you can start sharing that from the beginning, you're building a reputation and a personality using those videos. So that's one way that you can have content daily. Another thing is just like Instagram. I took my wedding ring off, if you noticed, because last night my hand swelled up a little bit. Now I'm wondering where the ring is. I know where it is, but I'm fiddling. Another thing that you can do on Steemit, this isn't about Steemit right now, okay? What I'm talking about is sharing your journey, because I believe every person has a valuable story. You are valuable, and your story is valuable, even if you think it's not. My son and his girlfriend are in town right now. They live in Montana, and last night they made the statement, there's nothing really interesting going on. And I said to them, if you walk out your door and you take a picture of a snow-covered mountain, you have to remember that most of the population never gets to see that. And you sharing that, your picture, your adventure, your story, just, hey, I woke up this morning, grabbed a cup of coffee, isn't the snow beautiful? That right there is something that somebody's going to value. And some of you, maybe you only have a patio full of potted plants, and you think that maybe your life in general is not that exciting. But a lot of people really do find the journey of growing plants, container plants, exciting and interesting and valuable because they are in the same situation. So that is something that you can share. Everybody has a story, and every story counts. I believe that to my heart. So share your story. If you are a small YouTuber, and you're losing your monetization, don't give up, because sharing your story is valuable. It's valuable even if it doesn't make you money. It's valuable to other people. And community truly is valuable. So I really want to encourage you to keep posting, keep sharing. And on Steemit, you can share news. If you want to share news, maybe your commentary of news, a photo from your day, photo of your pets. Maybe you're the type of person that does really quality how-to type things, like you know how to can food. Like Kate, for example, she's had a really valuable and interesting series on Steemit a while back when she was posting more regularly, whatever.
More regular-like.
More regular-like. And that series touched a lot of people. They found it valuable, and she made a decent amount of reward with those. Now, there's also another thing about sharing your story. Some people say, well, I never get any likes. I never get any thumbs up. I never get any votes. I don't know how, people don't like me. That's not true. It takes time to build an audience. It takes time to build a community. So don't give up. Continue sharing. Continue loving. One of the ways that you can build community is to start posting on other people's content. Start commenting. Let them know that you're there and that you value them. And they, in a lot of cases, will say, oh, look, here's a person that values me. I'm going to go look at their content so I can value them as well. It's all about community. If you are on any platform, whether you make money or not, and it's all just sort of self-focused, it's not going to be as rewarding. It has to be about loving other people and serving other people.
I noticed another thing about Steemit that seemed to help mine, and that was when I set it up, I made a collage of pictures of the equipment that I use.
Yeah.
And every time I made a post, I used that collage. So people started looking for that picture. They could spot me right away.
Yes.
And it was much easier for them to find me.
Yes, and that is a strategy on any platform, is developing some sort of a branded image. Over the years, I've tried to brand Daddykirbs with the little tomato play button, like on the hat and on my logo. And so that's one way that people can recognize me. For Kate on Steemit, she made a beautiful image of canning type equipment, food preservation equipment, and became very recognizable in that series. I don't know how many you did, but
18 or 19.
yeah, but each one of them grew, and it became something that people, I think, were looking forward to. So, yeah, I really want to encourage you. Share your story. Don't give intimate details of your life, because that's not good online, but share your passion. Other people need to hear this stuff. It is our story that makes community valuable. All right, let me scroll, because I'm missing some stuff here. I got on a little tangent there. Happy, I'm really perplexed. I'm really sorry that you're having that challenge. Hey, Sherry, thank you so much for throwing into the tip jar a beautiful day. It's a little gray here, but I'm glad that you have a beautiful day where you're at, and thank you for sharing the gift of your super chat. That means a lot to me. It really does.
Mr. Rain wants to know if you plan on drinking the water in your catchment system or just using it for gardens.
The catchment system on the barn is going to be primarily for horse drinking. I'm going to use that to fill up the trough so that I don't have to run city water to the barn, because we are on city water here. I wish we had a well, but we don't. Not yet. Maybe someday. That's in the future. So they will be drinking the water, and quite honestly, once filtered, I would have zero issue drinking the rainwater, because I just think once it's filtered properly, it's as good or better than the water that we get from the city.
We just don't get enough water to do that very well.
Right. Yeah. You do have to have a fairly large storage system of water catchment in order for it to be very valuable here in Texas, because if you catch, for example, a lot of people have the 55-gallon barrels on their on their
downspouts.
You can catch in a good rain, it'll fill up like that because we get many inches at a time. But then you use it over a week, and if it doesn't rain for another month, you're just out. So I plan on putting 330-gallon totes. This is one of the dream plans in a series, and having, depending on how wide they are, I don't know how wide they are, but the back of that barn is 36 feet long. I have a portion of the back of the barn that is taken up by the solar equipment, so I'm losing about 4 feet. So I have 30 feet, approximately 30 to 32 feet of just the back of the barn that I can line those totes up with. So if they are 3 feet wide, and I don't know exactly, but if they are, I'll be able to have 10 of those, which will equal 3,300 gallons of water, which should last through a good portion of the summer drought here in Texas.
Mr. Rain asked because the sun will allow green stuff to grow in the water more easily.
Yes. Yeah, I do know that the sun on the totes can create algae, and you have to block that. So I don't know if I'm going to build a little fence around the tanks once they're installed, or drape tarps over them, or what. But I know that that's an issue. That's something to look forward to as I figure those things out and make the videos. Pratt said, I did not know about DTube. I will check that out as well, but my plan is to do like you, YouTube video, share it over there, but I need to come up with more content. So, Pratt family, what I suggest right now, I know you have a collection of videos already, so continue making your YouTube videos. I just got a notification, somebody's birthday on Facebook. I know you have a collection of videos, so what I would suggest is continue making your new videos on your YouTube channel and sharing those on Steam as a YouTube link, but take your old videos from day one and upload those to DTube and share those as well, and make a note in the title or your first sentence of your post saying, sharing my story from day one on DTube, whatever. So my first sentence says something like, in an effort to continue sharing my older videos on DTube, or something like that. So that way people know that this is not current. They can tell because my kids are like this big and they have cute little voices, whereas now they're super big and their voices are deeper than mine.
And do it like once a day. Don't do all of them at one
Right,
bunch.
exactly. Do once a day or once every couple. I would suggest once a day on the older stuff. That way you can start building that and using, I know you have a good collection of videos. That's a good number of days that will give you a good jump start on using Steemit daily. You can post more than once a day on Steemit, so maybe you share an old video through DTube, and then also a picture from your current, like go out and snap, like an Instagram type thing. Here's an animal, you know, we just planted these seeds or whatever. Take a picture, write a paragraph, share your story. If you share 1, 2, or 3 posts per day, daily, you're going to grow. Your audience is going to grow, and eventually you're gonna get the attention of some of the larger channels, and you're gonna start seeing the value of those going up. If you go way back in the beginning of my Steemit existence, I have several months worth of sharing on Steemit where I barely made a dime. Some of my posts made 0, but there is something to be said for persistence and consistency. Yes. You just got to keep doing it. Keep sharing. If you don't keep sharing, people will just ignore you. You know, even if you caught some attention, some audience, if you don't keep up with it, it's not going to happen. So you just keep doing it. There is also D Live. Yes, that's a Steemit based or Steemit blockchain based live, like what I'm doing right now, sharing your video live. I haven't got on that one yet. Anyone discouraged by the new YouTube rules? Time to sow. I shared that. Yes, that was something I shared earlier on in the live show. There's a lot of smaller channels that are being demonetized. This is my letter for one of my channels, and that's something that we're going to talk about in an upcoming video. It is discouraging. But, like I said, don't give up. Tell your story is so important. It truly is. A huge hello from Canada. This is How to Homestead with Scarlett Damon. A huge hello from Canada. So nice to finally make your live show. Thank you so much for showing up. This is a good audience this morning. I truly appreciate you guys taking the time to spend with me on a Saturday morning. Hopefully you are comfortable with a good cup of coffee or your preferred beverage and enjoying this time together. It's been 45 minutes. We generally go about an hour. I may have to cut short by a few minutes because we have somebody locally coming to purchase a couple of silky roosters. I told them to come after 10 o'clock, and also someone locally coming to buy some honey. We have a few pints of honey left, and so they're going to purchase some honey.
And
so
I'm getting one of them.
Kate's ready for more honey. All right, so, oh my goodness. Ronald had to spend a good chunk of money on repairing mouse damage on vehicles. We've had that here too. If a vehicle sits in one place for more than a few days, that's an invitation to mice and rats to make a nest in the engine bay, chewing on equipment. It is horrible. Sometimes it causes damage that lasts forever because you can't find the wire that they nibbled on, and it causes a little short and creates an electrical issue forever. It's really a nasty thing. All right, yes. Network. I'm missing some of this conversation. I'm sorry. I'm trying to scroll through. Wholesome Root says, how many hours a day do you spend on social media telling your story? This is something that is, it's sort of a struggle. And this January, because of lack of energy, family stuff going on, I've spent very little time because I just haven't made the YouTube videos. I will say that YouTube videos take more time than anything else. I have neglected most of the general Facebook stuff that I used to post and think Facebook is really important, but the importance for me in Facebook right now is in the private groups that I have. For example, the Fanily group. That is a small group of Fanily, F-A-N-I-L-Y, fans of the Daddykirbs content that have come together as a core group and acting like family. So that's an important thing for me that I try to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes a day on because I don't want to neglect that. I also have a local Facebook group that's healthy local living, Daddykirbs Farm. It really is about locals getting together and loving each other. But as far as general Facebook, I don't spend a lot of time. Instagram, I spend maybe 5 minutes a day. I try to post every couple days on Instagram just because I like that. Take a picture, short description, and put it out there, and then share in the comments later. But I spend maybe 30 minutes a day on Steemit, creating posts and then sharing in the comments other people's comments and also those that comment on my post. So when I shoot videos, the videos I can easily spend 3 to 4 hours on a video. Easy, sometimes more. So on a typical day when I'm not shooting videos, I probably spend an hour to 2 hours total spread throughout the day. A lot of times just on my phone when nothing else is going on, checking things. But then also when I shoot videos, it can take up hours in a day. So I have to try to space that out. And honestly, I could live without a smartphone because I would a lot of days prefer to have nothing buzzing in my pocket so I can just get things done. But the reason I keep the smartphone and the ability to stay connected on a mobile device is keeping up with the community that I've been working on building for the last 8 years. Wow, I'm way behind. There's Mr. Rain's comment about drinking the water. All right. Scrolling. Yeah, black paint. Paul mentions painting the containers. That's an option too. All right, so I explained D-tube. I saw someone ask about that, scrolling through really fast. You guys are doing really, really great at sharing in the conversation amongst yourselves, and I appreciate that every week because you guys, the community that we have going on, you guys can share with each other, love each other, and serve each other. And it's not all about me. It never has been, and I never want it to be all about Blake because that would make a really bad channel.
My visitor wants to know if you have any mouse abatement tricks or ideas.
Cats. We have had fewer rodent-related damages since we've gotten cats. Now they don't take care of everything. In fact, some of our cats are getting quite lazy and expecting food on the porch every day and then being able to sleep on the porch every day. But we have a couple of cats that do their job really well. And I know that there's a lot of people that say cats are not the solution for farm rodents, but I disagree because we've had much fewer issues. Even rattlesnakes, believe it or not, we used to get rattlesnakes up around the house all the time. It's Texas. There's rattlesnakes. And since we've had cats, we've seen very few. In fact, all of last year, we didn't see any rattlesnakes. And I think the reason is the cats are reducing the rodent population, which is the draw for snakes. The snakes want to come in and eat the rodents. And I like snakes eating rodents because I don't like the rodents. However, I don't want the venomous snakes like the rattlesnakes up around the house where somebody could get hurt. So the black rat snakes that come in and eat the rodents, I really like them until they start eating my chicken eggs, which they love because it's a free and easy meal for them. But I try never to kill. We've killed a few, but most of the time we try to just relocate the black rat snakes or just be more diligent to collect the eggs so they can't get them. Sometimes they get them. But that's the thing about living in harmony with nature is that you have to understand that the balance of nature depends on everyone getting what they need. And the snakes need food. So sometimes they get your eggs. Sometimes they get your rodents, which they can have, all of them. But when you plant trees, your fruit trees, and the birds start eating your fruit, yes, you can try to protect that. But the birds also are beneficial to your property as well, whether it's because they're fertilizing the ground or they're eating insects or whatever. All of nature is important and a balance. So some of what you plant or some of what you have will be lost to nature. I just accept that. I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's tragic because, for example, I mean, it's tragic, especially on the kids, when we had a skunk killing ducks. Yeah, that's not so nice. But you know, even the skunks have to eat. So we just try to protect the ducks, and we have done that. We haven't lost any in a long time, but for a little while we lost a few ducks to skunks. And I only know that it was a skunk instead of a raccoon or a possum or anything else is because we actually caught it. That was a weird day trying to figure out what to do with a skunk in a cage, but we took care of it. Which, by the way, I did not know until I looked this up. You should not shoot skunks because skunks tend to carry rabies, and when you shoot them, it makes a mess, and there's rabies mess all over, so that's something you're not supposed to do. This is not something I'm extremely comfortable with, but the way that we disposed of that skunk, we didn't relocate it. We did
dispatch it.
We did dispatch the skunk, and the way we did it, which was something I read online, it was a safe method, was to submerge the entire cage in water. It sounds disgusting and horrible, but it's better than splattering rabies blood all over the place, I guess. Luckily for us, that only happened one time. We never had to do it after that, and I don't want to have to do it because it's not fun. Oh, look at that. Carol Markley. Her maiden name is Kirby. Maybe we're cousins. And you have a nephew named Blake. That's really cool. Have not seen in probably more than 30 years. Just wondering. We might be cousins. All the Kirbys had to come from a similar area, I suspect. I can't imagine that name is really popular all over the world. I think it mostly comes from the Scotland, Ireland area. So somewhere back in time, you probably had some family members from that area, and they may have been related to me. All right, it's 55 minutes. My coffee's almost gone, so I think that is an indication that we need to wrap this up. I do have, like I said, a few people coming to buy silkies and honey. So I will spend just a couple more minutes reading comments and seeing what is going on here, but we're going to close the show to look forward to doing those videos and those projects that I talked about earlier in the show. If you missed the early part of the show, go back and catch the video in replay. Once YouTube posts it, it'll probably be demonetized because most of them are every Saturday until I go in and tell them that I want them to reevaluate. And most of the time, every time so far, they have reevaluated that. But thank you so much for those of you who gave the super chats today. Thank you for being a part of this community. Let's see, Croatia, Elderberry Garden from Croatia. Thank you for joining us from on the other side of the world. And yes, thank you, Wholesome Roots, for your comments today. And I inspire you to do better, where you guys inspire me to keep sharing my story. And you share so much with me that I continuously learn from this community. I truly do. There's so much information available in the community at large. And if we just learn to share and love each other, we can all learn so much. So thank you so much. Those of you even from Sweden, Druj Nasu, perhaps. Thank you for joining from Sweden. So I am going to sign off. 57 minutes. It's been a good show. Thank you, Kate, for helping out in the moderation. Thank you to all of my moderators, Wheatree Bonsai, Ronald, Øystein. Hope I didn't forget anyone. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. And close the show.